Hello, I'm ABX and welcome back to a live stream on the internet. This one's just a quick one, because I'm home a bit too early and also a bit too late. Think about that one at the same time. But I'm here, and I figured, one of the most important things that anyone does, one of the most important things that anyone can do, is to return home and make the responsible decision not to go to sleep. You might think, I've come home. It's been a long day. It's 2:30 a.m. But the trick is, if you don't give yourself time to decompress, then you won't decompress. Pro tip for anything. If you don't give your time to do something, you can't do said thing. Someone says it's only 10 past 2 though. See, that's the thing about Toycat streams. They're always not on time. Like, if at this point you're not aware that Toycat streams, when they say they start and when they do start, those are not related events. Like, there is a correlation between the two, but it's definitely not a causational link. You gotta realize these things. Anyway, hello, my BX Toycat, and welcome back. It's not a live stream on the internet. Today, I'm playing some internet Minecraft, and I'm here because I mostly actually wanted to work a bit on the desert. I really wanted to do some destruction, and that's the thing I'm gonna do. So, hello. I'm here to basically bring myself into my most normal world I can, and then we'll back out. It'll be great. So, I'm so spooked. Yes, people live in Nebraska. I don't think anyone lives in Nebraska. I'm sorry. I had to break it to you. But no, I'm mostly just here because I was like, I gotta use some time. Gotta uncompress, which is like decompressing, but I already said that word. So if I say it again, I'm just repeating myself. But if you use a brand new word, it's like repeating yourself. But it sounds a lot better than that. Actually, have you ever listened to some people speak, and they say the same thing, but in like slightly different words, like non-stop, and they're like, man, you know how we're like trying to have a conversation here? I feel like you're trying to say the same things, but in a slightly different order. Which is kind of some of the beauty of language, really. But yeah, so I've been to Nebraska once. What a ghost town. What is this? My clock says 3 a.m. If you live in Nebraska and your clock says 3 a.m., there's a good sign that your clock needs to be fixed. Because it's not actually 3 a.m. anywhere right now. Fun facts of Toycat. There's the only partial time zones we have are, I want to say, quarter hours in like India and somewhere else. Thank you for using my thumbnail, IBX Drunk Cat. This is not a Drunk Cat stream. I am incredibly... If you read the thumbnail, I think it even says, this is a very sober 3am stream. I think there's rules against streaming under the influence. I'm not sure if there are. I mean, we can... Oh, big thank you. It shows up somewhere. It made a noise. Appreciate you. But no, I think there's actually some rule. I know Twitch has rules against... It's excessive intoxication, and I imagine YouTube has something like, just don't show people anything. So that's my rule, as always. When I need to destroy some it's raining. Whenever it rains in your Minecraft world, my favorite pro tip is just to give up on life. Just hop onto another Minecraft world, honestly. Works a lot better than you expect. Usually, my 7-year-old watches, but she's too busy making a house for a cat. I saw a comment today. It's the funniest one. Actually, I think it might show up in Q&A Saturday. But someone was just like, my 7-year-old watches these videos and couldn't leave this comment herself. But she thinks this was the worst thing she'd ever watched and it was cancer or something. And I was like, this is either the funniest, troll or someone has, a very upset 7-year-old. I'm not sure which one it was, but I found it funny. I'm gonna play some Ghost Invasion. No one's gonna stop me. Love your videos. Keep up the good work. Such inspiration. Thank you, Dominic Martinez. But no, I had a crisis today, right? Someone said that anyone in Riften, like the Skyrim town, I'm in Riften, cure off the common cold. I'm also really ill, also high. Honestly, okay, wait, I'm gonna finish my previous thought because I have the superpower of finishing my thoughts, even when I don't really want to. Yeah, checkmate. Also, thank you. It's making a noise. It's just not showing up on screen. I don't know why. So, by the way, okay, so I think I mentioned earlier this week that tonight was the logical night for Halloween, right? Halloween's on a Wednesday, so the closest weekend to a Wednesday is 2 days afterwards. However, I was entirely mistaken, and fortunately, I brought a And I did took out in a hat, so I was like, okay, you can put it on, you can take it off. It's wonderful. Why are you up so late? Must be high. I think okay. Pro tip. Okay, just basic pro tip with you, Clycia. If you get high, you want to go to sleep. It's when you get I guess there's a few things that'll make you want to stay awake, but being high is not one of them. Which is why, like, now that Canada's legalized weed, I'd be willing to bet if you did a study, there's like a lot more like Doritos being consumed per capita, and a lot less like, you know, violent crime and insomnia sprees. So yeah, there you go, fun fact. Toy cat for you right there. Man, that was so scary. Okay, I'm dead anyway. It doesn't even matter. I hate this game so much. I enjoy it for like 10 seconds when you're like the last infected, but the rest of it is just objectively awful. So, always sunny, Toy Cats gets demonetized. Do you know, here's the interesting thing about demonetization. I don't think anyone understands the, oh, he's gonna get me, he's gonna get me, he's gonna get me. He didn't get me. But I don't think anyone understands the rules about demonetization. I think we all just kind of accept that, like, you know, there is something happening. And eventually, you know. But I don't think, like, streaming is a way to get banned. I think very much the opposite. It's like, can't sleep before you say something offensive. What I like to do is I sometimes, like, check myself. And I'm like, you know, what is the most offensive thing I want to say right now? Because sometimes I like to go on a little bit of a rant as to, like, you know, this is, this is the thing that upset my friend's roommates the most. Because I go into his house one night, like, after what I like to describe as the worst day ever. I've told the story in a video. And after that night, I tell the story and I'm like, you know, this is why women are illogical. And, like, all of his roommates are women. And they're like, you know, and they're all angry about it. And I'm like, look, if you're a bit more logical, then maybe you wouldn't be so upset about being called that. Look at this. This is all the proof I need. And I think that's the most, that's the fastest anyone's gone from, like, oh, this is an interesting guy, to, oh my god, this guy, you know, 0 to 100 real fast. Oh, no, he's gonna blow up. He's gonna blow up. Okay, I got him. He's good. Or someone else got him. It's all the same. So yeah, I'm gonna play a couple games of this, just because, honestly, playing it last night, or was it last night? 2 nights ago. It was last night. I know, it was last night, but on the 1st, not the 2nd. I'm just gonna keep shooting this one guy over and over again. That's my plan. It should work quite well. Just keep shooting him, get those ghost spawns to go down without dying, and then we'll win. That's just how this goes. So, oh, thanks to Deadpool, I didn't know for sure. Oh, God. Okay, the guy blew up a bit too early. Okay, more guys all around it. Oh, gosh. We just got a triple kill or something. I'm just nailing it today. Oh, no, he's good. Okay, we're all good. So, yeah, it seems like you have, like, a split second to kill a ghost before they get you. And that's just what you gotta do. You just gotta shoot them. Oh, man. They're blowing up a bit too early, though. It's all good. So, yeah, pro tip for this game mode. It's just infected. Oh, okay, I'm infected. But at least I probably got the most kills. So, someone says refugees. Man, we're talking about women. Women aren't refugees. Hi, I'm hungry. Hi, Dad, says RJ. Super cool. Do you feel you're better this time of night? I think playing video games is one of the best way to normalize yourself late at night. Because your motor skills are pretty much the same any time of day. At least my motor skills are. Actually, there's one way to check that, right? Like, you just have to load up literally any game. But maybe Minecraft just doesn't require much of your motor skills. But I feel like it's exactly the same. Okay, we're gonna go back into our world now. We're gonna deal with our issues that we kind of set up. If I start counting sheep for you, will you fall asleep? I mean, I do need to sleep soon. Should we go on the please grief round? Do you want to? Actually, not. This is sequence breaking, because the video hasn't even started to be edited yet. But if you want to see a realm that breaks everything, this is said realm. Oh, as you can see, it's looking pretty good right now. I mean, it's a solid realm. I mean, if you ignore the fact that I'm just down here. So yeah, as you can see, wonderful place. I've got some andesite, I've got some obsidian. It's a good realm. Really nice down here. But no, let me go back to my problem. I kind of just jumped out of it, but we're going to go back there. But no, I sometimes think to myself, like, what's the most offensive thing I want to say? Because on YouTube, you probably, are meant to self-censor yourself, right? Like, you can't go on a rant about, I don't know, the Jews. Or you can't be like, you know what? If there's one thing I really hate, it's Susan Wojcicki. You know, you can't go one of those rants. Because, you know that only goes bad places. Actually, though, okay, you know, offensive time with Toycat. Here is something, actually. You know that woman who went on the huge shooting spree of YouTube HQ? The reason she did it, by the way, was way more insane than anything you can imagine. She thought that YouTube was deliberately designing their algorithm to, you know, unpromote her channel. She was like a Persian YouTuber with like a lot of channels, like 23 channels, and they all started dying around the same time. So she was like, oh, clearly they're just designing this to screw me. Your desert is evil. Thank you. Also, it's really quiet. I don't know why. I hear nothing right now. Maybe that's a good thing. Do you hear anything? Maybe you do hear something. Maybe I'm just deaf. But anyway, no, so the woman who went on a huge shooting spree at YouTube, she very publicly said in her videos what she was gonna do. It's just, I guess, no one took her seriously. And I don't know if that's tragic or beautiful. Because again, on the one hand, it's like, man, it's not good. Okay, pro tip. This is me being very British right here, you can tell. But I'm actually not, like, pro shooting sprees. Again, I know that's a really controversial opinion in some parts of the world that are between Canada and Mexico. But I am anti-shooting spree. Yeah, I reckon if we could have less people die in a shooting spree, that would be my preferred option, if I'm being brutally honest with you. But, yeah, I think that's interesting that, like, out of the one at YouTube, all you get is, like, man, when crazy people publicly state their plans, sometimes they're being serious. You sound so American, though. I think that's the most triggered I've ever been. Like, I'm gonna, like, sit there for, like, hours a day now, relearning, like, the most British I can. It's awful. Because people have been saying it on my second channel for a while, and I've been writing them off as just being like, you racist. Not all people who speak English in an understandable way are American. But now I have to accept it's real. I want to make a video on how to be a terrorist. I still think it's a good idea. Like, it's like ultimate clickbait. You just give up your monetization, and in exchange you get a few thousand, 100 million views, you know? Easy stuff. Actually, you know, I guess YouTube would probably take that video down if it ever got too big. Interesting, actually, okay, here's something I can rant about. Like, YouTube has very inconsistent standards about what is a offensive video. And I sometimes think about this one. Because what is it that makes something controversial, right? And I don't think anyone can describe that. It's just if it makes enough of a wave. But then if it makes enough of a wave, then that's not good of a, I don't know, it's a whole problem. Can I get a Brexit in the chat, please? What does that even mean? What are you even trying to imply? Let alone actually implying. So we're going to put all of our stuff away. Oh, this is why we can't have much sand. I've got too many other things on me right now. Because I did a bunch of background gameplay. Super high. Because I want to get ready for a Let's Play episode. It's a cool thing. YouTube's a failing company. I think they're actually the most successful media company in the world. I think at a time where every other, like, you can say what you will about YouTube's policies, but their overall platform is really good. It's like when, okay, actually, here's a fun politics example. When a political party's in charge, like, suddenly they either get really divided or really united. Like, either, well, this is the best we got, let's do it. Or everyone's like, okay, this is our one chance at power. How can we seize it for ourselves? And it's kind of the same with YouTube, Like, the reason you want YouTube to be good is because there's one YouTube. There can't be another YouTube. At least not without, another billion in investment. And even then, probably not another YouTube. So, since you're very sober, will you talk about Star Wars? I don't even hate Star Wars that much. I think everyone who likes okay, this is okay, everyone has to censor themselves, but I won't censor myself about Star Wars anymore. Here's the problem with Star Wars. They're not even average movies. They're like slightly below average movies that people act like they're the second coming of Christ. And it's like, man, there's Chewbacca in this one. And it's like Chewbacca shows up for like 8 minutes in one movie from before you were born. How can you love this character? Like, if you're gonna love some imaginary space fiction, anyway, you got me ranting about Star Wars now. Ik is Afrikaans, ik is English. You speak English. You're on the internet. We all know you do. Spoiler: Thanos dies in Infinity War. I mean, half of Thanos dies, I believe, to catch the 5th coming of Christ. I just don't understand. I just really want to understand, but at the same time don't understand why people love it so much. I just wish that people would look at the Star Wars movies like they look at every. Because okay, on the internet, everyone hates everything. I couldn't quite piece it together, but if you go to any games community, that game has a serious section of haters. One of the reasons that I'll never become like a Minecraft hate channel, I'll always try and be a balanced perspective, is because every game has a community of, let's just call them what they are, right? Like, I don't know, like crybabies. That's a fun juvenile term for a juvenile group of people. Like, if you go to if you go check out, I don't know, like a subreddit for any particular game. You can even do this for Minecraft. There's someone complaining about some minor thing. Like, again, the Minecraft community is, the whole 1.9 thing. That's like the most ridiculous BS that's held back an entire community. Like 20 million people have been held back by a few people's preference regarding, clicking cooldowns or whatever. But every game has that though. And I sometimes wonder, like, is it something about, like, gamers? Are we just not well-adjusted people? What's the deal with people who play video games? And I don't know what the deal is. But yeah, you just need some milk. I actually just drank some milk. I had a Crush'em from KFC. Side note, every time I go to KFC, there's like one less thing that I like on their menu. I was like, you know what? The Crush'em, it's a good milkshake. It tastes like Oreo. It's vaguely milky, but it doesn't taste like good. It tastes like the opposite, in fact. They should add heavy and light tax. We are normal, I just really like fire. But you see the same thing in every games community. So I follow Hearthstone a lot. Hearthstone is a card game, but like a digital card game. So like, the cards aren't physical. Everyone understand what we're talking about? Okay, we're good. So I follow the Hearthstone community, and at first the Hearthstone community complains because it's like, man, we get rushed too much. Like, people make decks that can win the game by like turn 8, and we need to have more, control options to shut them down. So they add a bunch of control options to shut down decks that win on turn 6, and now the community's like, man, games take so long, and we still get the same amount of gold. Like, oh man, playing 3 games takes an hour instead of 15 minutes like it used to. And it's like, because you're not dying to rushing decks all the time. So then they kind of nerf that, so there's a lot more mid-range decks, like decks that take maybe 15 turns to win a game. And then they start complaining because it's like, oh, you need so many pieces to buy these decks, and wow, all the best cards are legendary, like they've always been, but now we're going to start complaining about that. And then they'll try to fix that, and then, like, every gaming community has this thing where, like, there's some portion that will never be happy with anything, and that's something I never want to espouse. And but it's I don't know where that even came from, by the way, but yeah, that's why whenever I see like a game getting hate, I'm like, you would hate on anything they did. I don't even understand what's happening in, is it Fortnite right now with a huge controversy? I don't know, like, there's a lot of games. Like, okay, but here's the thing, Black Ops 4 just added microtransactions. Out of nowhere, they deliberately waited months for, like, to get reviews in, to get people to like the game. Then they're like, oh, by the way, you need to spend another few $100s on the game. That's when a community should actually have uproar. But everyone was too busy complaining about, like, a nerf to a minor perk sometimes used in zombies. That, like, that was a bigger deal for them than microtransactions. Like, basically, all you need to do is get people to complain about one thing, and then they'll stop complaining about bigger things. I don't know, I think it's a big deal. That's typical Black Ops. Is this going to be unlisted like the other one? I mean, everything's unlisted when you really think about it. Because YouTube will only list things that it wants to list. And you better believe Toycat's mildly incoherent ramblings at 3 a.m. are not on that list. COD hasn't been on a good spiral for years. I think the problem with COD, like, so as a person who likes business, I think someone at the Call of Duty headquarters, whether wrongly or rightly or whatever, just one day had the realization of like, you know what, we make $1 billion. Is it $1 billion or $1 trillion? I guess it'd be $1 billion. $1 trillion is the government budget of the UK. Fun fact. But they make $1 billion every year on every Call of Duty release. And they're like, you know what? We have 50 or 20 million people playing the game. Rather than making $60 from them, what if we could make 100? So they start selling season passes or whatever. And then they're like, wow, making $100 a player is great. And most of them just spend it. What if we could make like $100 in every player, and then some players could give us as much money as they humanly have? So they implemented loot boxes. Like, that's the thing, like, every single monetization option has, like, so many great ways to justify it. And then, like, there's always companies that make it look awful for everyone. It's like microtransactions in Minecraft. They allow you to support, like, developers of things they're passionate about. Like, I love passion. I literally, actually, let's talk, real talk with Toycat. I love passion. If I could, like, you know how most people are like, oh yeah, so I like, blonde girls with blue eyes. I guess that's a bit Hitlery, but, that's people's preference. My thing's like, man, I mean, if we can't guarantee Canadian, if that's off the tables, you just have to care about something. Just tell me about something you care about. And, right now in chat, just tell me something you care about. Right now. Just give me a full sentence paragraph about the thing you care about most in the world. Feed me your passions. That's what I want right now. Just tell me a thing you care genuinely and deeply about. Bring your phone in the toilet. I bring my phone into the toilet. Okay, honestly, I used to think it was weird when people brought their phones into the toilet with them. And I was like, man, why are you playing Angry Birds in there? Like, just play it outside. But as of, like, a few years ago, I'm a full-on convert on that. I care about memes. You don't care about memes. You browse memes because there's nothing else in your life to fill the empty space. I care about Toycat, YouTube Toycat. Is that the thing you're most passionate about? Like, I'd like it to be. I'm just not sure it's true. Like, I wish it was true. I just question it. I care about the planet's health being destroyed by us, says Coliprit. Okay, here's the thing about the planet's health, right? Everyone should care about that slightly, but it definitely shouldn't be your #1 concern ever, right? And that sounds controversial. Like, of course it should be your #1 concern. But the thing that makes humans able to fix the planet is all the other things that people do. It's kind of like, I don't know. If you fix the world hunger crisis by sending all the food to Africa, then we'd be hungry, and now Africa has to send us food back, but they've lost some food, and it's kind of like that with like the environment, where it's like, it should be maybe like the 4th biggest priority of every human being. Also, I literally had a friend tell me, he was like, oh yeah, you get a few games of Angry Birds in while I'm in the pooper, or whatever he called it. He's Pakistani, so he has a funny name for it. I care about sausage rolls and brown sauce. I'm passionate about botanical printing and textile sciences, eco-friendly dye methods. See, that's cool. I love when people are into not only just things, but like super niche things. Like, you're sitting there and you're like, I would love to work out the next ecologically friendly dye. Maybe it's made from, like beetle junk, or maybe it's, what if it's actually crushing up children's hopes and tears? And it's like, well, actually, that would work well as a dye, but the ethical concerns, man, that's a good conversation I'd love to have. I care about caring. You don't care about caring. I care about caring, though. The thing I care about most is Lord Jesus Christ. I think that's a serious one. I'll assume it is, because if I'm wrong about that, That's a cool thing to care about. Again, I think it also shouldn't be a #1 priority. I think, like, as a 3rd or 4th priority, it's pretty solid. I like to make books and stories. If you like writing stories and you've never written a book, you should write yourself a book. That's recommendation with Toycat. Time right there. See, I'm getting really close to the shore of the beach, so I'm going to have to be super careful about this. I love Stalin, so he helped people be ruined from this world. Well, there's nothing but suffering, and Stalin was the 3rd coming of Jesus Christ. Well, that's a controversial one right there, and definitely not correct. I care only about my 3 friends. Watching in New Zealand, love your videos. Happy morning, New Zealand. I actually think about going back to New Zealand, like, once every, like, month or so. And then I think, but it's far away. Guess I won't go back there. What do you believe, IBX, crossbows, or Jesus? Bit more of a crossbow guy than a Jesus guy. No, more seriously, I think that maybe you can have both in your life. When is your next Toycat review? McDonald's review? Probably in Italy, maybe in Paris actually. I'm going to France in a week. I've got a really interesting week planned. I care about Toycat getting some sleep. Here's the problem. I stayed up till like 3 AM last night, deliberately, so that I would, I've had this real problem where, like, as I've been out with friends, I've just gotten really tired and kind of, like, bored, honestly. And, like, you shouldn't be bored when you're with your friends, probably. But I think there's just, like, phases and cycles in a given night out. It's about mid-afternoon in New Zealand, actually. Happy mid-afternoon. Jesus, it's late there. That's probably a sign that it's late here. What do you think about the llama emoji coming soon? Is there really a llama emoji coming? Man, we are living in the future today, eh? Today, eh? You like that? Today, eh? I'd like to visit the Roman Empire or maybe the Persian or Mongols. If we're being honest, history sucks compared to today. Like, if you want to go see some history, say in, like, I don't know, there's countries of great history, like, you want to go to Japan or to Germany or to Italy. I think Italy's meant to be the best country for history. That's a thing. Don't start that chicken and egg thing. Toycat, what did you eat for dinner? Says Michael Lerma. I had southern fried fish. It's not a common set of adjectives to use together. But it is what I have had. What I had previously in the past. Not right now. Right now. And then I had fish and chips on the way home. It's the worst fish and chips too. I'm gonna have like nightmares about this fish and chips. The chips, like, was just the most thing I've ever had. Also, by the way, big thank you to Pap. I missed your super chat. But you said there was microtransactions. I'm sorry. I need to be more tentative. But I'm not. That's just a flaw in my programming, you could say. Oh, by the way, side note, I need to like start putting chests here because I'm just letting so many cacti go to waste. Yeah, I need to probably get that fixed, I guess. We'll work it out. Actually, right now, if there's a crafting table around here, which there always is, we'll just fix this right here. Right here, right now. Where's the crafting tables at? Guess we'll make one. You know what? You can always have more crafting tables. I wonder if Toycat will pass out from being tired. The plan is not to pass out. But I guess we'll follow the wind. Don't worry about it. See, the Pap, he's the hero we need. One guy once yelled at me for getting a super chat, even though I read it out, and he just, I don't know how or why he missed it. But I was like, man, you should just take your money back or whatever. I mean, I can't literally do that, but it was like, man, just don't be here. Be anywhere else that's not here. So I'm going to take all of these out of there. Put these in there. And we're just going to have a second chest for the cacti. Because if anyone wants to download the world and they only want cacti out of it, I want to make sure they get a good deal. So we'll just fill this with cacti. Make sure there's some value coming out of this. I watched Toycat who fell asleep on stream. Great, it's 10. Here he is. Yeah, no, falling asleep on stream is one of my nightmares. Because I bet that I would sleep talk and be like, oh, make sure you unsubscribe. Hey, yo. Just want you for your money. Some like nonsense like that. Like, I dream about stuff that makes me like, honestly, I think one of the biggest motivating factors in life for me is just how awfully terrifying my dreams are. Like, I dream about being blind on a regular basis, and it's literally one of my worst fears. Because, like, I love seeing. You know, most of the best things in the world you have to look at to understand, you know? Actually, let me take that one back. I'm so warm right now, and this is the best feeling in the world. But besides that, besides warm things, you have to see most good things in the world. I would say. Take some shots of espresso and you'll be okay. Okay, so let me add... Okay, you know, actually, side rant here. Side rant. So, first of all, I hate espresso. Second of all, I once... Let's call it dated, to keep things simple for the internet. I once dated a girl who is a barista? Sure, something like that. She worked at a coffee shop. And she was, like, really, really passionate about types of coffees. Which, like I said earlier, I love people who are passionate about things. I could talk about... I would love to share passions one day. You know, actually, you know, there should be, like, Tinder... But, like, you just meet old people who care about things they want to talk about. Man, I could do that all day. But, anyway, and one day was just like, oh, yeah, well, here's the coffee I recommend for you. It's a snickerdoodle, couple shots of espresso. It's a this, that. It tastes like a flat white. And it's like this expertly crafted thing. And then I get it, and it's like, that does taste like a mildly better coffee. Also, how did this tree grow on sand? That doesn't seem like a thing that's meant to be able to happen. I hate pizza as a meal, but I think it's a great snack. I think you're objectively wrong. Like, your opinion's wrong, you should feel bad, and like, if something bad happens to you in the next 24 hours, I'm just saying, it wouldn't be undeserved. Gonna go to bed, have a good night. That's too early. So, okay, I'm going to be hosting a Japanese foreign exchange student. We're going to watch your videos all the time. He might pay you in Japanese yen. Man, I would love to be paid in Japanese yen. I'm actually, I'm going to Japan next year for 3 weeks. I don't know if I've said this anywhere. But I really want to, like, see everything in a country once. Because even, like, even the UK, there's some, oh... Darn it. Even the UK, I haven't even been to, like, most of Wales. I don't think I've ever been to Cardiff. So I've been to, like, 2 of the 4 UK capitals. And, like, I haven't, okay, so I was like, you know what? I go to lots of countries for lots of good reasons. Let's try and see all of the country one day. So that's the thing I want to do. So I can't play this RuneScape drunk. I feel like RuneScape drunk must be the least exciting. I guess it's, like... all about the cognitive, not about the physical. Almost 10 PM for me. Have a good night. Iankie says, Japan is really awesome. Also visit Seoul, South Korea. SK is so awesome. So, my plan is... So, I'm staying in Japan for 3 weeks. Like, it's gonna be like a solid portion of my next year. What is 3 weeks out of a year? What, like 5% of a year or something? And then hopefully, like, I'll find a friend who wants to go to, like, South Korea or something. Because the cool thing about South Korea is you can learn the language. Like, even if you can't, it's really hard to learn what all the words mean. But you can learn a lot of South Korean, or Korean, they're not different Koreans. But you can learn a lot of South Korean really, really easily. And I figured that'd be kind of, it's the Hangul characters. So I'm gonna... Oh, man, I suck at this. I'm considering doing that at least some amount. Also, my shovel is so dead. I should really do this. Japan is overrated. It's all about South Korea now. Okay, let me be very careful with my wording here. Because my immediate response is like, get out of my life. I want to set you on fire. But given that that's an impolite response to that question, I'll just say, you know, Japan, I if you've ever listened to the song "Turning Japanese" by, I mean, it's by like the Vapors or something, but there's a cover by someone in Spider-Man. I could probably say her name and get it like 4 degrees wrong, and based on my second channel experience, it's better just to not say things if you're gonna get it wrong. But yeah, based on that one song, it's like, man, that she gets me, he gets me, someone gets me, the person who wrote the song gets me. Because, like, I've never had an experience where I was like, man, everything is just so perfect. Turning Japanese is about self-love. Is it really? I'm gonna look that one up. Turning Japanese. Lyrics are, I'm turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. I'm turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think. That is the blandest lyrics I've ever seen. Oh, it's the chorus, that's why. I was gonna say, I didn't think the song started that way. I'm gonna listen to this now. It's talking about pictures of his love. Oh, God. Oh. Turning Japanese is about the cliches about angst and youth and turning into something you didn't expect to. They knew it had success that they waited till releasing it. Because if they released it as their first... Oh, wait, this is a beautiful story. The band knew they had a success with the song, so they waited to release it so it would be their second single. Because if it was their first, they wouldn't be able to overcome it. But they never matched the success of it anyway. They were a one-hit wonder, despite going through efforts to not be a one-hit wonder, which is beautiful. Like, I love that. As someone who lives on the internet, and is probably described as like the YouTube equivalent for one-hit wonder, in that like people are like, wow, you're not as big as I would expect you to be. I think that's kind of sad. Stacy's Mum is a better song. Changed my mind. I actually, when I listen to music on YouTube, it just automatically recommends me, like, super oldish songs like that. And one of the songs, this hits me hard in the feels every time, but it's, I think it's Teenage Dirtbag. It's like, man, I'm not even teenage or a dirtbag, but I sure feel like one after listening to this song. Big thank you for the super chat, by the way. I appreciate you just Monica with the Australian one. I don't know what that is in pounds, but after YouTube takes their cut, it's like 1/10 of the fish and chips I just had. So really, you paid for like a tail of a fish, which is even me insulting you or like praising you for buying me a tail of fish. I don't even know. These streams don't need to have logical sets of reasoning. I am a teenage dirtbag. I don't even know what dirtbag, like, it's one of those, like, vague insults where it's like, oh, maybe I am a dirtbag. Also, let's just fish this pathway now, you know? I said fish, I'm sticking with it, you can't tell me otherwise. Let's just dig it all out, get everything gone, and then put it back. That's just the easiest. Oh, my shovel's gonna die, that's why I can't do this. How about we just dig it halfway and then... Oh, gosh, what's this? What is in this? Okay, it's a sheep. Jesus, I've never been so scared. Is that a... What color is this sheep? Like, am I having a eye attack or something? It doesn't look black or blue or grey. That's not a black sheep. What is wrong with the color of the sheep? Like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I work out what color this sheep is? Chat, am I mentally broken? What is the color of this sheep? What is wrong with you? I'm gonna have to like harvest the... If we kill the sheep, it'll drop a type of wool. What color is that? Grey? I don't know about that. I think something's wrong. Oh, by the way, big thank you. The Pap, you are one of my role models, and I think you have good morals. I don't know if I have good morals, but I appreciate it. Oh man, is something wrong with my capture card? This isn't grey. I'm 100% sure this isn't grey. I actually see different out for each of my eyes, so I'm gonna see if it's maybe one over the other. What is wrong with this? Huh. Huh. Are you guys sure this is, like, obviously grey? It looks like cyan. But, like, not cyan, like a really light blue, but, like, dark blue. Oh, man. What is wrong with this colour? I am not sure what is wrong with me. I think it... Honestly, yep, I think it's the colour. Because that is clearly a white sheep. I can look at that sheep and say, yep, that's pretty white. That is a sheep that will not be having issues anytime soon at an immigration checkpoint. But, I don't know. Actually, before we go, let me talk about something. I don't know where an appropriate place to talk about this is. But let me talk about my favourite thing in Asia. Because... like, again, in the world of, like, you can't say anything about anything without someone being angry at you. But this is an unlisted stream. Oh, big thank you, by the way. SolarFlare0417. So, hey! I can't whistle when I'm smiling. Oh, man. That was a rough whistle. I can't whistle in tune, apparently, either. Thank you for the membership, sponsorship thing. I keep calling it sponsorship. Let's be honest, sponsor's like a fair word for it. Like, I'm like a puppy in a zoo. You pay £4 a month and, you know, now I get food or whatever. But big thank you for the super chat, I appreciate it. But let me explain to you my favourite story that I definitely cannot tell. Or I want to be delicate with how I tell it. But you know what, right now, I'll tell it, and then if I don't tell it delicately, I'll shut down the stream and we'll say I went through a tunnel. But in the West, everyone accuses the world of being very pro-white. And I think depending on your country, there might be some truth to that. I can't guarantee there's no racism in your country. But I've never seen it or had anyone tell, you know, none of my black or Asian friends, at least in the UK. Again, I'm just talking about my own experiences. However, in Asia, where people are Asian, that's going to shock people, they're really racist against Asian people. Like, Asian people, and I don't know if that's okay. Like, are you allowed to be racist in the opposite way against your own people? Because, for instance, there's so many security checkpoints. Disclaimer, so I can't promote accept racism. It should be does not. Now I promote and accept racism, Kit Kats. But it's like, is that as racist as if, like, if you're racist against an Asian person in Europe, right? That's racist. But if you're racist against an Asian person in Asia, and you're an Asian, is that okay? Like, can I, as a white person, be racist to white people? I don't know for sure. But what I love is that, so there's this thing where, like, especially in the poorer Asian countries, like, just by being white, it's generally accepted that you can get away with some things, right? Like, and then here's the wildest thing. I went to a shopping mall in Indonesia. I'll try and actually wait. Let's see if we can find the exact one. I bet it'll be like, there's got to be one shopping mall. But it was like a really, really secured one. Oh, I can found it. It's called the Grand Indonesia. So I went to the Grand Indonesia because it was next to my hotel and I could barely go anywhere because the city has a transport problem. And they're scanning everyone really vigorously before they go into this place. As I go to the place, they're like, oh, it's whitey here. So everyone else has to take out their belongings, put them in a scanner, you know, like airport security. I just have my belongings on me, a backpack, by the way, you know, like terrorist weapon of choice. The scanner goes off, beeps, and they're just like, whatever, go past. And I was like, okay, so that's a fine thing you get here. This happened to me non-stop over, like, in Thailand as well. And even at the airport, the machine beeped. I had coins in my pocket they didn't check or look at. I had liquids in my bag that they didn't take out. And it's like, man, I don't know if that's a good thing. Like, I'm not a terrorist. So, I think it's a good thing that they let me go through security fast. It's generally okay if Asians are racist to other Asians because they're basically insulting themselves. But then it's also you talking slow is funny. Also, can you please start a podcast, like a Wednesday thing or something? Because I usually only watch your videos for the commentary. I definitely do want to have some commentary style thing. Also, stop talking politics. It's not politics to say that they're racist to for white people. I think being pro-white people is a good stance to have. Like, you're a nationality when you enter and exit a bathroom, but European in the bathroom. Hey, good joke. Go for it. I generally didn't get it, so I went through it. But no, my point here was, it's obviously the definition of racist, but like clearly we've all accepted that we should all be the same or whatever. You know, you shouldn't be able to say I don't like someone solely because they are this, or you know, you're gonna give them more security because they look like this. But can you do like the opposite? And is that the same? Like if I'm like, you know what? I hate white people, I'm only gonna have black friends. Is that racist of me? You know, that's what I wanna know if that's the same, because it feels like it's not the same. But maybe that's really worse, or maybe it's better. Like, we need to have levels, right? We need to like have a racism hierarchy, I reckon, so we can even out these issues. Are those sounds of non-alcoholic bottles? Wait, let me show you, just so you're sure. This is my. I drink through this in every video. Every video. It's just water in there. Like you can. I'd spill it into the camera, but like. I'll put a little bit in my hand. Like. I don't know. Like you can't prove any liquid's not vodka, I guess. Like I'll put it in my eyes. I don't know what to say. Like. Anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for watching this video, live stream. It's gonna vanish after it's done. This is just an opportunity for me to just like show up, say hello. If you didn't know, Indonesians are pretty sensitive. Oh yeah, Indonesians want to eat me alive when you make any comment that their country is not perfect. And it's like, is it not okay to talk about it? But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching. I just wanted to like have a bit of time to like decompress down. I think a lot of people make the mistake of going straight from full on to like non-on. So I like to have these streams where I kind of even out, make things fine. Like rather than going from there to there, you gotta ease in. Ease in. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.